Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Newby, and I've been in practice in Iron River, Michigan for about 30 years. And I enjoy the chiropractic end of my practice, and also I'm a clinical nutritionist. I also like specializing in neurology and also endocrinology. And what we're going to talk to you about today on this short DVD is a little bit about thyroid problems. And the reason why we picked thyroid is such a misunderstood gland, and a very misunderstood about treatment of the thyroid gland. What does the thyroid gland do? Well, the thyroid gland runs the metabolism of our body, meaning that if our thyroid gland is underactive or not working, our body's going to run slower. It's kind of like the engine of your car. If your engine running slower at RPMs, of course your car is going to run slower. It may not run as efficient as it should. A lot of times why it gets misdiagnosed is sometimes it's not fully tested. And unfortunately, if you go to a doctor that maybe not specializes in thyroid problems, he may only test like one test called the TSH. That's called the thyroid stimulating hormone. Unfortunately, that's one little piece of how you test the thyroid. The other problem is sometimes the lab ranges when you test the thyroid are very broad. And what happens when they're real broad, your thyroid has to be really in trouble or really overactive or underactive before they actually determine a problem with those kind of broad lab ranges. Like an example, the TSH may be tested from like 0.5 to 5, and if you're not below that or above that, you don't have a thyroid problem. But really, the correct optimal range or functional range of that thyroid gland should be about 2 to 2.9 is where it should sit, where you're going to feel the best and have your thyroid work the best. The other problem too is that thyroid gland is not just sitting here by itself. It communicates to many parts of the body. For instance, if your adrenal glands, which are little glands sitting above the kidneys, are not producing their correct amount of hormones, that's going to not allow that thyroid also to function normal. There's a little gland in our brain here called the pituitary that also has to tell the thyroid what to do. So if that doesn't get tested and that's not working right, sometimes the thyroid won't function either. Frequently too, when women or men might be low on certain hormones, that also can affect the thyroid too, how that functions. So we need to look at the thyroid as a gland that doesn't sit here by itself. It communicates to other parts of the body. So when we're looking at thyroid problems, and not to overlook them, we need to look at the whole picture, the whole body, how it works. The other things that we need to look at too is the thyroid itself been contaminated or injured by anything what we would call halogens. Halogens are things that are in our environment, that are in our foods, that are in our water. You probably heard of fluoride, chlorine, or bromine. These can excessively be built up in our body from many, many sources, and that can actually shut the thyroid down. So people that are storing these kind of halogens in their body also could contribute to a low thyroid. Sometimes we test through the hair, and it's through looking at the hair for heavy metals. Frequently the hair will tell us what's going in the body, what has been stored over years and years. For instance, a person could be a welder, and they've been breathing all those fumes in for years, and you can test their hair, and the hair will reflect some of those toxins or poisons that their body might have stored from years working with certain chemicals, whether it be body work, household chemicals, pollutants that you've been around. It could be anywhere from lead to mercury to cadmium. Where do you get mercury from? Sometimes your dental fillings. So any of these things can be stored in the body, and that could also affect the thyroid function too. Food sensitivities is a big one. We're all different. We could think broccoli is the best thing for us, but sometimes broccoli, if you're sensitive to it, or your body is not so much having an allergy to it, but having a reaction to that food, that could cause a thyroid problem. And gluten is a big thing. Gluten is in wheat, barley, rye, oats. And a lot of research has been shown that gluten sensitivity can contribute to thyroid problems also. So we want to look at many aspects if we have a thyroid problem. The treatment is very simple. We do it naturally. We want to look at the thyroid as far as looking at what nutrients it might be missing. One of the biggest nutrient that we're all missing for our thyroid is iodine. And iodine right now is very deficient in our soils. Actually, where we live in Michigan, we used to call it the Gorder Belt. They try to add some iodine to salt, but first of all, it's not enough. Secondly, they're putting it in the wrong kind of salt, and they're not using the two forms of iodine that should be put together. So a lot of people think that they're getting enough iodine out of their salt. It's not true. There's whole books that are just written on iodine and how much we need it. And it can be tested too to see if you're iodine deficient. Sometimes the thyroid itself may need some specific glandular nutrition that is extracted from other thyroid glands, usually more from an animal, that makes that thyroid work better. Other glands that we talked about earlier that are not communicating to the thyroid, those glands specifically might need certain nutrients and products and changes in diet to help that thyroid work better too. So I know we covered a lot here. We talked extensively about what's wrong with the thyroid, how we can diagnose it, things that we can do for it. And I hope this DVD has helped you understand more about the thyroid. Our office, Dr. Charles Newby again, our office is at 415 River Avenue in Iron River, Michigan. And our phone number is 906-265-5175. You can also email us at NewbyDC@yahoo.com. And you can also look us up at on our website, just a simple www.newbydc.com. And what we're offering, if you call us or email us, we're offering an initial consultation at no charge, just to see if we can help you with your thyroid problem. We'll look at your labs, look at your history, look at your symptoms. We'll see how your thyroid has been managed in the past. See if it is working correctly, and we'll see if we can help you. On our website too, there are some different testimonials you can look at. So I hope this has helped you a lot, and we thank you for watching this DVD, and we look forward to hopefully helping you with your thyroid condition. Thank you.